one thing that I did enjoy most of all was developing other people to start to have more perspective so that way they can build up on themselves and grow. It was something that I love to do, and so much so that like I went to go be a drill instructor. All right, some of you guys that have been with me for a while know that my time as a drill instructor was wild. But what I will also say is that I did learn a lot about myself, and I completely rewired my value. Right? I think that's another thing that a lot of people miss. It's like you need to rewire your value sometimes. 'Cause a lot of y'all place y'all's value like your valuation, like what is like imagine you have a net worth, right? Imagine you have a net worth, and you decide, well, my net worth is based on cars and clothes and all this BS, right? What happens when you lose all that? You have zero net worth, and now you have zero value, right? A lot of y'all need to start changing up your value and your net worth and your brain on what is actually attached to your net worth. Otherwise, you're never going to be successful, right? And so for me, I somehow rewired my value towards developing other people. So much so that whenever I'm not able to develop other people, I feel no value. Right? That's why I'm here doing what I'm doing today. That's why I'm here. That's why over my life I've really been able to dedicate spending time with people, like building them up. Not everybody wants to be built up. Not everybody wants to be rewired in their brain. And it's crazy too, because like even in relationships. Oh, this is something I want. I was going to touch on this topic a little bit later, but I'm gonna hit it now. Even in relationships, people don't want to rewire anything. Why do you want to change me? Why do I need to act like this or be like this? Oh, I want to go to college. But wait, I'd rather just stay working here. Oh, I don't need to get that promotion. Oh, you want me to build up a new hobby? What? Why can't I just do this? You mean to tell me that you're going to be the same person for the rest of our lives in this relationship? No, I need to. There needs to be some sort of development and some sort of rewiring, or else that relationship's not going to be successful, right? You're not going to be successful as a person. You're not going to grow. That's that poor thinking. Honestly, that's that poor thinking of I'm good right where I am. No, you're not. You're comfortable right where you are, but right where you are, put you in the same exact place as you are. And I'm gonna tell you, even if you are rich and successful, if like, even if you are rich and successful and you're thinking I'm good right where I am, you're wrong and you're poor. You're wrong and you're poor. You're going to be poor. It's going to be a poor relationship. It's going to be a poor friendship. You're going to have poor communication with everybody. Everything's going to be poor. Oh, I was going to talk about that a little bit later, but I felt it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I felt it. Like I felt it in my bones to start talking about that. But for real, nobody wants to rewire anything. Everybody wants their value to be listed, so that way other people can see their value. No, what good does that do you, right? But going back, man, it was crazy that I actually rewired my value to developing other people, because I think that that's an amazing thing, right? And again, we define our own success. I think that's an amazing thing. It does suck though when you don't have that medium to be able to build and develop other people though, and so I love the fact that I started my own mental health podcast. That was amazing. I loved being able to share my story, share other people's stories, right? That was I know that my story a lot of times can save people's lives. What I've been able to do the last few years, I know that because I'm so dedicated to developing and helping and leading and building onto others, and knowing that I can still get more of that poured into me, like I know that that's going to save somebody's business. I know it's going to save somebody's relationships. It's going to save somebody's family, right? Like I want to make a change in this world so that way people actually come out on top. A lot of people like me. You know, another great thing I heard from some of the leaders and that I'm in business with, um, specifically Ed Milet. Oh man, I love Ed Milet. He says, "We are most qualified to help those we once were. We are most qualified to help those we once were." Oh, oh, take a second. Take a second, and I want you to write down everything you once were. Everything, every person, every position, every opportunity that you once missed, everything that you once were, write that down. I'll tell you some of what I was while you're writing that down. I was somebody who was great at showing face, at being amazing, but deep down I was extremely alone. That was one thing, right? How am I most qualified to help them out? Because I was once them. What am I doing for that? Providing community. Providing community so that way, yeah, no, you might actually be alone on the inside. You can show face as much as you want to, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real, provide that community so that way you can go somewhere to actually be vulnerable and let it out. Because like there's a lot of energy that you can harness. There's a lot of goodness that you can harness by being able to show face. Man, go be an actor or an actress. Go show face there. But when you're by yourself, it doesn't do you any justice. Right? How do I touch somebody who's by themselves? No, we're not going to go there, right? But yeah, honestly, like how can I impact someone's life who's alone whenever they're by themselves, right? Because that's when that show face comes off. That used to be me. How do I help that person? I need to be real. You know what else used to be me? Oh man, tasting that next relationship used to be me. Because probably once again because of the aloneness or loneliness thing too. But chasing that next relationship used to be me. How am I doing that? How am I helping somebody else? How can I help somebody else? Give them partnership and friendship. Like actual partnership and friendship. That's what they're looking for, a partner. And I want to talk about the difference between support and being a partner. I'm going to talk about it later on in the season of the podcast, or a different day. But support, a lot of your support system comes from like your friends and your family that you grew up with, and a lot of times we mistake looking for our partner as somebody to support us, and we just want strict support, and that's okay if that's you. But those of us who are looking for the next relationship, is not because we don't have support, because we don't have a partner, because we don't actually have somebody to work with and build with. And that's what we're looking for, but we're mistaking it for looking for support and friends. All right, support is somebody who's going to hold you up, right? Somebody's going to hold you up. You can kind of think of support as, let's say you're like running for a candidacy, right? The entire campaign is supported by all these people who believe in you, by all these people who are raising money for your campaign, right? That's support, right? Partner is picking your running mate. That's like picking your vice president, right? Or your first lady, your first man. If someday we're gonna have a first man president, right? But like that's a partner, and a lot of times we mistake looking for somebody who's gonna just pour into us and tell us, hey, you got this, you got this. But one thing I've learned is somebody who's looking for that next relationship is looking for that partner. Find a partner. So I want to provide not just the community piece, but partnerships with people. So where they have somebody else that they can run with. Right? Another thing I used to be was afraid of risk. Ooh. Another thing I used to be was afraid of risk. Ooh. And because I've taken a risk at betting on myself, and this is something we're going to get into. But because I've taken a risk at betting on myself and actually winning doing it, I'm so much better now. I'm not to say that I'm any better than somebody else who doesn't, or any better than somebody else who still feels alone, or any better than somebody else who, you know, is looking for a relationship all the time. It's just that I'm just qualified to help them, right? And you are too. You are too. Right? I'm not sure what kind of business that you're running, what kind of opportunities that present themselves to you. But just understand, when you're running that business and you're here to help somebody else, you're qualified to help that person. A lot of us, we don't feel that self-worth and that self-value because, oh, I'm not this, or I'm not that, or I used to be this, or I used to be that. Yeah, exactly. And so I love the fact that I have rewired my blueprint to develop other people because I used to be them once. And if I never was them, hey, I'm not as qualified to help them out. But hopefully I got some things that I can say that's going to help build them anyway.